Hey there everybody, it's TheRooster here, and we have some more SOCOM 4 gameplay for you. This is a suppression match on the map Rush Hour. Now this is before the big patch, so this video is actually before the last video that I put out. But I don't really want to speak too much about the video in this one. I want to switch it up a little bit. My first 4 videos that I did were more about tips and tricks and explaining the game, some ways to approach the game if you weren't quite so good at it yet, things like that. You know, the last video was talking a lot about this last patch that just happened. I mean, if you want that kind of stuff, go ahead and check out my channel, check out those first 4 videos. This one's going to be more about other stuff. That being said, if that's going to cause you to maybe stray away from this, you might want to stick around. I mean, let's just say that the video is worth watching, even if you don't want to see the commentary or hear the commentary, I suppose. I guess you could say that the video, the gameplay here, is entertaining of its own right. So, the commentary is just a bonus if you're into that stuff. But definitely don't skip out of this video if you just want to hear about tips and tricks. But more what I want to talk about in this video is I'm older than probably some of you guys. I mean, I just turned 28 last week. I know there's going to be plenty of viewers around my age and plenty of viewers older than me. But I also know that a lot of the people that watch these kind of videos are in high school, even younger than that, junior high, all that kind of stuff. And that's fine. I mean, there's no set range of, an age for when you have to like video games. I grew up with them. We're going to start to see as, the years go on, quite a lot different things than what we've been used to. I mean, you're going to see a lot older and older people being into video games just because we grew up with them. So as we get older, we're going to still be into video games. It's not going to be something that's just going to necessarily go away, I mean, if you get to a certain age range, you might not be able to play very well. I mean, you're going to have to factor in things like your hand-eye coordination is going to drop. You might have arthritis. Your eyesight could be bad. I mean, there's all going to be a lot of things that are going to make it not so easy for you to play games. Who knows, by then, maybe we'll be playing games a different way. I mean, it might not be the same controller setup that we have, or even some of these motion control type things that we have now. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be jacked straight into your brain. There's no way to tell at this point where it's going. But I'm just saying, it's going to be around for a while. People are going to be into games. But this is more for some of you younger guys. I just want to, throw it out there from someone with experience that you can't let video games run or ruin your life. It's awesome, it's fun, it's a good way to pass the time, but it can't be everything. Don't spend too much time playing games to the point to where you're letting it affect other points in your life. If you have the time, by all means, go ahead and play if it's not going to screw other things up in your life. But don't let it, affect your work, your school if you're still in school, your personal life. Those things are important, and you're not going to get that time back. I'm not going to say that I've wasted, all my time that I've had, but I look back at a lot of the time that I had, and I'm like, man, I really could have done a lot more with it of things that would have lasted a little bit longer term. I have a lot of great memories. I've competed on some teams. I've made a lot of good friends through gaming, and that's fine. I mean, I don't want to take that back. I mean, I definitely have enjoyed the time that I've spent doing what I've been doing, but I just don't have a lot to show for it. I look at some of my other friends or some of those things that aren't into gaming as much, and they've got a lot done in their life that I just haven't put the time into. And I've kind of reached a point where I still want to game, but I kind of have to go the casual route. I mean, for a while there, I was wanting to compete and do tournaments and that kind of stuff. And if you're good at that, and if you've reached a point to where it's working for you, fine. I'm not telling you not to do that stuff. I mean, like I said, I've done it myself too. If I had more time, oh man, yeah, I'd be doing GB all the time. I'd be doing tournaments, MLG, like all that stuff. But there's only so much time to get stuff done in the day. And for someone like me who works a full-time job, I work 46 hours a week. I just don't have time for that if I want to put time into my personal life and into bettering myself. I mean, you really have to find a balance, and if you don't have time for it, you're going to have to make a decision on what's going to be important for you long term. games are nice, but you know, you're not going to have a lot to show for it. I mean, you find some people, like, sure, you look at some of the bigger commentators like Hutch, you know, CNanners, some of those guys, obviously, you know, it's worked for them. I mean, even like X-Jaws, people that don't work in machinima, that kind of stuff, they definitely have made a career out of this. I mean, a lot of people take this and go into the game journalism aspect. If you can work this into a career, by all means, do so, and it definitely is not a waste for you. But if you're just playing, you know, 50 hours a week and ditching your friends and doing bad in school, and you're not having anything to show for it, it's not worth it. Very few people are going to get to transfer, you know, their video game experience into a career. Yes, if you go to school, yeah, you'll probably eventually get a job in the industry if you want to, if you really work for it. But, you know, in terms of just playing, yeah, it's not like there's a lot of opportunities out there to, you know, make this into something that's going to support yourself. So you're going to have to focus yourself in other areas. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, especially if you're spending a lot of time doing tournaments and GB and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. You can pat yourself on the back for how good you did, but you know, you're not going to make enough money to really survive off that. Very few people, you know, like Ogre 2, you know, Final Boss, like those guys, you know, like Halo guys, Fatality, sure, they make a ton of money off what they do, but they're the exception to the rule. They're definitely not the norm. Maybe in the future, if some of these payouts start to get higher, then we might see a little bit more of this, but you definitely can't go into this and think, oh, I'm going to be a professional gamer when I grow up, because there's a lot of good players out there, and it's not easy to break into that kind of thing. I mean, like me, I'm a decent guy. I'm not going to say I'm the best guy out there. I play with plenty of people that are better than me, trust me, on a regular basis. My friends list is chock full of people that are much better than I. But that being said, I know I'm an above average gamer. I'm good at every game that I play, especially when we hit a new game. I'm much easier to adapt to new games than some people. It definitely seems like some people take a little while to get their bearings, and then they'll stay on a game for a while. I tend to move from game to game. You know, I'll stay in one game for a few months. The only two games that I really ever go back to long term are Halo and Call of Duty, which is kind of similar for a lot of people. Those are two games where, you know, I'll pick them up and actually play them again months after they're out. Doesn't mean I'm not tired of them, but I mean, for the most part, when I'm done with the game, it collects dust on my shelf. I don't trade them in. I know I could go and try and save some money and take them to GameStop, even though you don't really make a whole lot. But I'm the kind of guy that I don't want to sell that kind of stuff. I always get mad at one of my friends when they'll sell one of their games for $5, you know, at GameStop. It's like, do you really need $5 that bad, rather than just to have it sit on your shelf and maybe pull that out down the road? You know, like my roommate has just an ungodly amount of games. Very few from this generation, but I mean, you look back at, you know, PlayStation, GameCube, Dreamcast, you know, Super Nintendo. I mean, he has hundreds and hundreds of games, just a ridiculous amount. But he'll break them out. I mean, he'll play, you know, he won't necessarily run all the way through a game, but every time I come out in the living room, pretty much, he's playing a different game if he's got it turned on. And I kind of respect that. I mean, I'm much more, you know, I'll stay focused on one game until I play the crap out of it, but you know, you just got to have fun with it. You just can't let it run your life. It's not worth it, like I said. You don't want to look back on the time that you've spent gaming and regret, you know, that you've wasted your time. It's a nice way to pass your time, but man, don't let it run or ruin your life. So that's all I want to say, guys. If you like this video, if you like my commentary, that kind of stuff, go ahead and, you know, rate, comment, subscribe. Trying to get this channel going. You know, visit my channel if you're watching this through other means. You know, I'm trying to get my channel going. I want to do more vids for you guys. It's not all just going to be SOCOM. I got Call of Duty, Halo, Uncharted 2, all kinds of stuff is going to be on the way. So that's all I want to say, guys. Peace.